guys, what's up? It's Claire and welcome back to Bookmas. So I'm really excited for today's video because today we are going to be ranking popular romance book tropes. I read a lot of romance books, and when I read fantasy, it's often romantasy, so I feel like I'm pretty qualified to at least give my personal opinions on all of these tropes. Like I said, all of these are my personal opinions, so if you don't agree, that's totally fine. This is just how I feel about each individual trope. And also, I might be missing some tropes, so let me know below if you guys want me to do another one or a similar video like this, anything like that, and I'm totally down to do it because this is so fun. All right, so this is the tier list that I made, and so it starts pretty strong and it goes to the worst. So at the top we have S tier. So S tier is gonna be the most favorite tropes, stuff that I'm totally sold on. If a book has this, I'm reading it. Under that we have Sleigh Boots the House Down. So this is ones that I really love and enjoy, but it's not necessarily my number one favorite, but I still love it. Then we have 50-50 Has to Be Done Right, which is a pretty big jump, but it's I either love it or I'm I don't know how I feel about this. So 50-50 Has to Be Done Right is something that I feel it depends on the author, it depends on the execution, but I don't necessarily hate it. Then we have I'm Indifferent. So I'm not really sure if there's anything that's gonna end up in this category, but I'm Indifferent is gonna be kind of I don't really care if this is in it or not, but I'm neutral. Skip is gonna be if this is in a book, I really don't want to read it. It might be a big ick for me. And then we have Jail at the bottom. And Jail is basically why would you even think of this? That's sick. So let's get into it. So the first category we have is second chance romance. So this one is one that I've always been mixed on, and it really depends on the author and how they write it for sure. So I'm leaning into the 50-50 Has to Be Done Right, because I really feel you could hate a second chance or you could love a second chance. Really annoying is when there's a really great love interest that is new and they end up leaving this really great person for someone they have a past with just because they have a past with them. That's what's really annoying. So I'm gonna put this in 50-50 Has to Be Done Right, just because I can love it, but I also can hate it. Now sometimes if it's a childhood friends to lovers and that's the second chance, that I love that, but like I said, has to be done right or have certain qualifications. Next we have age gap. This is in between Skip and Jail for me. I'm really not a fan of age gap romances. It gives me the ick. And I did read Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World. Okay, now when it is in a book, a lot of the time I can, if it's not a super prevalent part of the plot, I can kind of be okay, let me just imagine that there's not this massive age gap here, but I'm not a fan. Next we have Best Friend's Brother. This makes me think of yeah, my best friend's brother is the one for me. I think I'm gonna put this in Sleigh Boots the House Down, because this is such a I don't know why I named that category that, I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna put this here because I do like this plot. I do think it does have to be done right, but more times than not, I do enjoy it just because it's kind of cute, especially if the best friends grew up together and there was always the brother picking on them type of thing. I don't know why I think that's cute, but I do. Next we have Amnesia. So when I was looking up book tropes, I was thinking that amnesia was basically that they got in an accident or something and completely forgot the person and now they're starting over or whatever. I really don't like this. When I was in middle school, I think I read a fan fiction, a 5-sauce fan fiction that was centered around this trope, but Next we have Billionaire. I'm gonna say, I wanna say I'm indifferent. Now the reason I'm saying I'm indifferent is because it's not that I hate it, it's not that I don't like it, I just don't know that I necessarily have enough experience with it to formulate a solid opinion. Next we have Bodyguard. I'm gonna say Skip, and I don't love this trope. I will say there is a reason that I DNF'd the Twisted series by Anna Huang. This is a major trope in there. I just think it's weird. It's almost like a power dynamic, you know what I mean? In a way-ish. Next we have childhood friends to lovers, and this for me is S tier. First S tier of the video. Just realized that. We've got a pretty good like range going on here. There's something in every category so far, which I did not expect, but S tier for this one. I love a childhood friends to lovers, and I fell in love with this trope with the Love and Other Words. But yeah, for me, I've always really enjoyed like reading this. I think it's super cute, especially like when you just like grow up alongside someone, like you've grown up together, you've lived your lives together, like you know each other super well. And for me, in a romance book, when there is like a friendship that is built first and like a genuine history and a connection rather than it just being like straight spice and like physical, I love that. So I'm gonna put that at S tier for sure. And then we have enemies to lovers. We're going strong right now. I'm gonna put this in S tier because enemies to lovers is genuinely probably my favorite trope. I don't know why, I love it. And I will say there are like times in a book where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like get over it, like you guys are insufferable. But for the most part, I'm like, I eat it up. I eat it up every time. And we have fake dating. Okay. So when I think of fake dating, I think back to The Love Wager by Lynn Painter, and I really did love that book, but it also wasn't really fake dating. But I also do enjoy fake dating in like movies and stuff, especially, you know what, actually, Sleigh Boots the House Down. We're gonna put that there. It's not like my most favorite trope, like I would prefer the other two, but I still really do like it. And I'm also thinking of Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I freaking love that book. It's so good. Okay, then we have Accidental Pregnancy. It's not cute. No thank you. I don't know, I think it's so weird. I don't like the trope at all. It's not fun to me. I get the ick from it, and I don't know if it's like I don't really like babies in romance books most of the time. All right, then we have Forbidden Romance. I'm gonna put this at, I think I'm gonna put it at S tier, honestly. And I'm gonna say this because I feel like as a child and like a younger like teenager, like I feel like we all eat up Forbidden Romance. Actually, I think I'm gonna move it down to Sleigh Boots because I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Like I really have to save S tier for like the top tier ones. Then we have Grumpy Sunshine. This one I've always felt like really iffy about. I know like Elsie Silver really likes this trope in her romances, and I've never disliked it in her romances, but I will say sometimes it is annoying and I'm like, gosh, the man is so insufferable, because typically it's the guy who's like the grumpy. Anyways, Grumpy Sunshine, I'm gonna say 50-50 has to be done right, because it really does have to be done right for me. In order for it to hit, in order for me to actually enjoy the book, it needs to be done a certain way. Then we have Found Family. Yeah, straight to S tier. I absolutely love this trope. Whether it's in a romance book, a fantasy, I mean, fiction, whatever it is in, I always really like this. I just feel like it's probably one of the most like realistic tropes as well. Next we have Forced Proximity. Forced Proximity, I want to say Sleigh Boots. Actually, I'm gonna say Sleigh Boots because there's one similar to this that I'm gonna put in the S tier that I feel like is encapsulating what I like the most out of the forced proximity trope. Next we have Love Triangle. Honestly, if you asked me a year ago, I probably would have put this like lower, but now, particularly after like getting into more romances and stuff, I'm gonna put this at an S tier. And that's because I love a bit of tension. I love some drama. I love to read about it. I really love like a good, like I'm gonna prove that I'm better situation. So I'm gonna put that at S tier because I honestly really do enjoy that. And when I know there's a love triangle coming and I'm like, it's not like explicitly disclosed on like the summary of the book or anything, and I see it coming, I'm like, I'm about to eat this up. Next we have Marriage of Convenience. Something about this gives me the ick, but I also don't hate it. I feel like I'm gonna say I'm indifferent on it. I don't know that I've necessarily read enough of that, if any. I mean, I've definitely seen movies, but I don't know that I've read a book that has marriage of convenience, so I don't know that I have like a solid opinion on the book trope version of it. Okay, then we have miscommunication. Jail. It's awful. No. I'm not a fan of the miscommunication trope. I think it is so annoying. And it's like, I understand where it's going in the plot. Like, I understand why this is a trope. But also, as a reader, I feel like miscommunication trope is often in, like, dual POVs, at least from my experience. And so, like, as a reader, you're literally seeing both sides, and it just gets so frustrating and so annoying. I don't like it. Next, we have the only one bed trope. And I said what I said. S tier, 100%. It's so good. It's so good. Every time, it's so good. Okay, then we have single parent. Okay, I have read this in Elsie Silver's books and enjoyed it, but I feel weird sometimes when there's kids in romances, like, especially when there's, like, sexual innuendos going on and stuff, and, like, the kids are present. It's like, that's interesting. Also, sometimes I just feel like the kids are annoying. Like, they always gotta say something, and it's supposed to be, like, comedic relief, and I'm just like, not today, babe. But in Elsie Silver's writing, I do enjoy them. So I'm gonna say, like, it has to be done right, because it can definitely get annoying really quickly. Okay, next we have soulmates. I mean, soulmates is cute. I can't really complain about it. I don't think it's interesting. I'm like, okay, cool, like, you guys are meant to be together, but where's the drama? I love a good drama. I'll just put sleigh boots, because I can't say that I'm indifferent, because I do like it. It's not my favorite, though. I feel like if there was a category in between these two right here, I would have put it there. Next, we have step siblings. Jail. Absolutely. Actually, it's gonna go at the front of jail, because why would you write about that? That's disgusting. Okay, and then we have friends to lovers. I'm gonna put this at S tier. I really do love that trope. I think it's, like I said earlier, I really love when there's a friendship and a relationship actually built before it gets to the romantic side of things. I don't love when it's just purely, like, physical. Then we have I Hate Everyone But You. Sleigh boots. Yeah. Try to think of, like, when I've read that, if I've enjoyed it, and I feel like I did. It's not my favorite, because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you're insufferable, but I do like it, and I like it enough to put it there. So yeah. Then we have One Night Stand. I feel like One Night Stand is, like, kind of fun. Like, if it's written right, I think that it can really hit and be, like, pivotal. I think I'm gonna put it at 50-50, has to be done right. Because, once again, I think I would put it in the middle of these two categories, but I think I'm gonna put it there because, genuinely, I think it can be, like, just kind of ick, but it can also be written really well, and I can enjoy it. Then we have Mafia. So when I put this on here, there was multiple categories that were, like, related to the same thing in my head, so I put quotations around it. To me, Mafia is, like, you know, the guys in the mafia are in some sort of, like, situation that ends up becoming dangerous to the woman, like the girl's kidnapped or whatever. I'm specifically thinking of Twisted Love by Anna Huang. If you read that, you would know. Girl, it's a skip for me. Then we have Slow Burn. Yeah, particularly in a series. So I'm gonna put this in S tier because I love when there's, like, a growth between two characters and it starts to happen, and I don't love things being, like, so rushed that it just doesn't make sense, so I'm gonna put that at S tier. Then we have Opposites Attract. Honestly, I feel like if you asked me a year or two ago, I would have said S tier for this, but I'm gonna say it has to be done right, because I've definitely had experiences in books where I'm just like, this makes no sense and this is absolutely insufferable to read, because I just genuinely do not enjoy it. Like, and obviously there's exceptions, but it's like, you have nothing in common. Why are you together? And I'm not even saying in, like, real life. I'm saying in, like, literature and TV shows and stuff, fiction. Then our last category is going to be small town, and I love a good small town romance, so I'm gonna put this one at I don't want to put it at S tier because I have so much at S tier, but I also really love romance books, so that's probably why. I'll put it at S tier because I love a good small town romance. I love a good cowboy romance. And yeah, honestly, I feel like that's sitting well with me. Now that I look at things and I'm like, okay, what do I want to change? Because I want to make sure this is like good. I almost want to move accidental pregnancy up to skip because it's like, it's not that it's necessarily like disgusting. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. Yeah, I feel like this is sitting well with me. I like the way this looks. So on S tier we have childhood friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, found family, love triangle, only one bed, friends to lovers, slow burn, and small town. And then for sleigh boots to house down, so just below like my most favorite tropes, we have best friend's brother, fake dating, forbidden romance, forced proximity, soulmates, and I hate everyone but you. Then we have our 50-50 has to be done right. We have second chance romance, grumpy sunshine, single parent, one night stand, and opposites attract. Then we have I'm indifferent, so I didn't really have much of an opinion on these, but we have billionaire and marriage of convenience. We have our skip category, which I'm gonna have age gap, bodyguard, mafia, accidental pregnancy. And then we have jail, which is step siblings, amnesia, and miscommunication. And that is the final outcome of our romance trope tier list. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love giving my opinions on things no one else asked for. It's a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit subscribe below. Let me know if you guys like videos like these. I can totally do more of these. These are so fun. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it and it's super laid back. Don't forget to follow me on my social media accounts and I will see you guys tomorrow for more Bookmas. Bye!